A real sugar daddy, for whatever, is not going to be on the internet. I highly doubt that someone is going to plaster themselves and say, hey, looking to literally finance your entire life, hit me up. Hi angels, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel for all my new subscribers. Today's video is going to be a hugely requested video. As you can see from the title, online dating. What do I think about it? Maybe profiles that I've tried out, different type of social networks that I've tried out. We're gonna talk about it all. But before we dive into it, if you are new here, hello, hi, my name is Asha. I want you to follow me on Instagram, which will be right here. And also tell your friend, to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend that they need to subscribe to this channel. Join us over here if you wanna be a part of the A-team. Super exciting stuff dropping for you guys. I have my merch line that will be coming out extremely soon, okay? So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to have a mailing list that's going to be available to you guys very soon so that you guys will automatically get notified when my merch actually drops. Super exciting stuff. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So I do want to state as a disclaimer that everything that I'm mentioning in this video is of course my opinion and also based off of my own experience. Everything is always circumstantial, like I always say. So if you disagree and your experience was different or has been different, that's okay. So the big question is, of course, what do I think about online dating? Well, here's what I have to say about that. I do not under any circumstances condone online dating. Why, Asha? What's wrong with online dating? Well, here's why. Here's a lot of reasons why. For one, when you're online, you can be anyone that you want to be, okay? And that goes across any social media platform. So usually, what are the types of people that are normally on dating sort of apps, whatever, websites? It's usually a certain type of pool of people, or as I like to refer to it, as a certain cesspool type of people. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. So you are looking at potentially jaded guys, divorcees, guys that are on a rampage, guys that are just literally looking to vet specific types of girls to play and prey on. You're looking at fake sugar daddies. You're looking at a mess, okay? A complete and utter mess. And quite honestly, men are not really on Tinder looking for love. Say it out loud with me. Doesn't it sound weird? Yeah, bro, I'm totally on Tinder because I really wanted to find love and I really just like wanted to look for like the right girl. Like, did you hear that? Like, it sounded completely ridiculous, didn't it? LOL, we're laughing. Talk to you later. What? Like, understand this. It's easy for women, normally, stereotypically, to go on Tinder. You want to see the guys that are out there. Maybe you're a shy person, so dating online is something that's easier for you to kind of get that conversation started so that you can go meet someone. Do you understand? But for men, it's a different thing. Their MO is different because they always, one, as we know, have some sort of motive of, okay, let's see what this girl's showing me. All right, yeah, she's got a nice rack. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, she's got a fatty. Yeah, I like that. Squeeze, squeeze. You know what? I don't really like that she said that she hates cats in her bio. So, let me swipe left. Hold on. Let me look at that picture one more time. No, her butt's too big for me to swipe left because I know she hates cats, and I have like 7 of them, but it doesn't even matter. You know what? I'm going to keep this girl because she has a fatty. Like, you have to understand the vetting process that men go through when they are going on these online dating profiles. The last thing that they're actually thinking about is looking for a girlfriend, looking for love online. Because think about it. If your dating pool, let's say, is between the ages of 18 to let's say even 35, okay? 18-year-old boys are certainly not looking for their girlfriends on the internet, okay? They can easily look for a girl to mess with and play around with, especially if you're on campus. It's the best thing to do ever. These dating apps are actually great for men, not so great for women. you can add your school on your Tinder profile, and you can see who on campus is also on Tinder. I mean, it's great. It's a great way to meet people. Do you understand? However, in terms of finding something soluble on Tinder or any of these sort of apps, I don't really think you're gonna find it. And if you're finding that your dating pool, let's say, is 40 to, and up, that's a red flag. A 40-year-old on Tinder looking for love? No. Okay, a 40-year-old is probably more than likely some jaded guy or some guy who could never get his life together, or some guy who's literally looking to prey and play on young girls. Then you got some guys that are on there trying to be fake sugar daddies. Like, first of all, ladies, a real sugar daddy for whatever is not going to be on the internet. I highly doubt that someone is going to plaster themselves and say, hey, looking to literally finance your entire life, hit me up. I mean, could I be wrong? Maybe, but like, seriously, real actual contenders and successful men to begin with, first of all, that even have money, that would even do something like that, wouldn't really actually be online if you actually really sit there and think about it. It's just a thought. I'm just saying. If you are meeting someone online, they are definitely playing games. All you have to do is literally swipe, swipe, swipe to get the next chick, the next chick, the next chick, the next chick, okay? And then you have these sort of thoughts in your head of, okay, this guy's really good looking, successful, and he's on Tinder or he's on Bumble. Like, naturally, you're gonna think to yourself, okay, what is wrong with this guy? And then he may think, okay, this girl's attractive. She has a nice body. She has a cute face. I like her bio. I mean, there has to be something wrong with her, because why couldn't she just get a guy walking down the street? Maybe she's damaged goods. She's probably totally DTF. So online, everyone is sort of forming these preconceived notions based off of your profile and your description, whatever your bio, and also, of course, your photos. That's the only thing that you have to go off of to judge someone, to figure out whether or not you want to swipe right or left, correct? It's not always an accurate depiction, right? Because we are putting online what we want people to see. Those guys are putting online what they want you to see. And you know what I find really interesting? Here's a tip for you ladies. Anytime you're talking to a guy and you notice that in the duration of you talking to him, the amount of people he follows incrementally goes up, like daily, whatever it is, that's not really, by my definition, normal. I only follow people that I actually know. I really do. I really honestly do follow people that I know or that I'm pretty much acquainted with, because I like to keep my feed full of people that I actually want to see what they're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you follow a guy and let's say he was following 200 people, and then from the duration that you guys have been talking in the last 2 to 3 weeks, next thing you know, you turn around, he's following 220 people, 283 people. It's like, how did you all of a sudden find 83 more people to follow in the duration of us talking? Give or take, okay? You should have your little roster going on. But depending on where you are in life, depending on whether or not you want to take my advice and actually get a roster and not place so much emphasis on just one specific person, because a lot of the times when you do that, you do end up getting hurt. Because one, you just met this person, you don't know this person, and I'm telling you ladies, no matter how strong you may feel that your connection is, it's still always good, I'm just saying, to protect yourself. Okay, you want to make sure that however you're feeling is reciprocated. Okay, and really by right, answer this question: are you single or not? It's a yes or no answer. If you're still single and you feel so heavily invested into a certain individual, I'm not saying that's wrong, but what I'm saying is that other individual equally as invested in you? Do they feel the same? Are they actually not talking to other people too? How do you know? You met this guy literally online, okay? You don't know if he's talking to 1,000 other girls on Tinder. You don't know if he's planning on meeting 2-3 girls during the week on Tinder. On Bumble, even worse. I mean, God, I hate Bumble. You don't know. I did a little experiment. I actually went on Tinder for a month just to test it out because everyone says, oh, when you pay for it, you get better results. Guys, ladies, angels, no. It's the same cesspool of people. The only difference is you can place yourself anywhere in the world, and you can also see people that liked you before you actually swipe to figure out if you like them or not. Those are the only cool features about it. But other than that, nothing really is that great of paying for that online. I mean, seriously, it was only $10, but it wasn't really such a grand difference from not paying versus paying, in my personal opinion. And when I actually specifically say cesspool, keep in mind, I'm literally talking about this type of situation where you have guys that their main form of connecting with women is simply through social media. Okay, when I was 21, I had an ex-boyfriend at the time, and he literally was incrementally following girls on Instagram every single day. This guy's Instagram following of who he was following was going up, 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 and up every day. And I felt like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. Do I say something? Do I not say something? Because I'm not his girlfriend. And I wasn't used to that. I was always used to, I like you, you like me, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. That's honestly what I was used to at that time based off of my previous experience. And for this guy at the time, he was 27, so I wasn't really used to his method of things. So it was definitely a learning curve for me. I mean, ultimately, we did end up to be boyfriend and girlfriend, but it really wasn't the best type of relationship. And it really took some getting used to because he messaged me on Instagram. That's literally how he and I started dating. I mean, another guy, too, messaged me on Instagram 1,000 times. Oh, I want to see you, We ended up exchanging information against my better judgment, which I intuitively felt like I shouldn't have. Every 5 seconds, can't wait to see you. Oh, you're so beautiful. All this stuff. Yawn. Oh my God. Next thing you know, the day of comes that we're allegedly supposed to meet. Mind you, this happened a total of 3 times. Literally never met. Would talk to me consistently all the time. Would actually talk to himself a lot of the time because I stopped being as responsive. It's pointless. And then the last time that we agreed to meet, I already knew in my head it wasn't going to happen. I never spoke to this person again. He literally was like, oh, I haven't spoken to you in a long time, because after the second time I was done, And I said to him, well, I'm pretty sure the last time we were supposed to hang out, you forgot and you didn't say anything. And he was like, oh, well, I don't want to accept no for an answer. Like, I want to see you. You know how these boys are. And boom, the day came again. This was the 3rd time it was supposed to happen. I already planned something over our date because I intuitively knew it wasn't going to happen. Next thing you know, I was right. It never happened. It's like this culture with online dating that you'll even, I've heard of instances where you'll even meet up with someone, have a great date. Next thing you know, you never hear from them again. And then you're confused, like, wait, I'm so confused. We ended up meeting up, we hit it off great, boom. The only other thing to assume is, oh, he probably went on another date the next day, probably, and, is continuing to swipe right, whatever, swipe left, whatever you want to call it. Who knows? And then in some of these apps even, I don't even remember which one it was, where you can actually see when someone's online or not. And it's kind of awkward because, yeah, in the beginning stages, people are usually talking to more than one person, especially guys. Let's be real here. Call a spade a spade. Men are always, please understand this, men are always talking to more than one girl when you guys are in the initial stages of talking. The only time that stops or should stop is if he decides, and it's a mutual agreement, that you guys are going to date exclusively. Please understand that. Don't try to base it off of your connection, your attraction. Those things do not matter. As I guarantee you right now, okay, he is talking to another girl. This is not even a jaded perspective. This is honestly reality. He's talking to another girl, probably commenting on another girl's photos, probably going on Tinder as we speak, on Bumble as we speak, on Luxy. What are those exclusive apps? They have like more exclusive apps like Luxy and like Inner Circle, something like that, where it's supposed to be more exclusive. Yeah, been there, yada, 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 no different. It's still a cesspool, okay? It's still a cesspool. The guy that I personally would desire to be with wouldn't be online looking for girls. You know why? Because he's working towards his success, or he already is, a successful person looking to get even more success. He doesn't have time to be online scrounging around for females to literally prey on when, one, if he's attractive and successful, he can do that interpersonally because he has the network and he has the access. Do you understand my point? No one that I would be interested in, I would find online. I just wouldn't. That's just me. Has it happened before where people have had, girlfriends and boyfriends, whatever the case is, and they found them online? Yeah, and you know what? I've heard of instances, I know people where it has happened to. And I'll tell you this, you know how many people that's happened to? 2 people in my entire 25 years of living. That's just my life though. That's just my experience. I'm just saying. On the grand scale of things, a lot of the times you're not going to find love online. You're just not. Anyone can be anyone that they portray, okay? And you also have to think, 9 times out of 10, the more charismatic the guy, the more games that he's actually playing. And ladies, we're like the FBI. You can go and see a guy that you follow, right? You can, if you're following the person, you can see their activity on Instagram or whatever the case is, and you can see all the things that they're doing. You can see all the things that anyone's really doing, honestly, to be quite honest with you. You can literally see it. So if you notice that throughout the duration of you following this guy, that he's following 20 more girls, 30 more girls, because more than likely he's following a bunch of girls, he's not following a bunch of guys. He's definitely talking to those girls. He's definitely sliding in those girls' DMs. He's definitely commenting on those girls' photos. Be realistic. Be realistic. This is life. This is just a part of the dating game. It's really nothing to be discouraged about. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you just have to acknowledge what is and understand how the game is. And you have to play it accordingly. Okay? Until you have a title of being someone's girlfriend where there's accountability on both ends, you're single. You can talk to who you want. I know you don't want to because you may like this person or whatever the case is, but I guarantee you that he's doing it anyway. I guarantee you. Okay? Keep that in mind. Do not let your guard down until you actually should. Okay? It doesn't mean that you cannot like the guy. It doesn't mean that you have to be mean or standoffish or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have to be wise. You either play the game or you get played. And really stay off of the online profiles. Stay off of that. These 18-year-old guys are not looking for a relationship. These 45-year-old men on Tinder and Bumble, okay, these 50-plus men on Tinder and Bumble, like LOL, like laughing out loud, like talk to you later. What? Like, what are these men with full-blown lives doing on Tinder? What are they actually doing on Tinder? Besides looking for probably young girls to literally lie to and scheme on. And then they being more experienced, they know how to vet and read young women. They know how to do it. So they meticulously pick and choose who they think is going to fall for their games. Okay? And then if you are someone that your dating pool is a lot younger, let's say 18 to, let's say even 30, right? Guys are still trying to figure out who they are, what they want to do with their lives. Men don't actually really mature despite human beings' frontal lobes being fully developed at 25. They don't actually fully mature until they're really like 40, 45 years old, really. And of course, every single person has a different level of maturity. Do you understand what I'm saying? But essentially, if you're dealing with someone who is on the road to success and trying to, achieve more, depending on the individual, more than likely, it's not going to go anywhere. And why? Why is that? Because men are master compartmentalizers, but men are not multitaskers. Women are. Now, how is that? Women are more capable of, let's say, working on their career and establishing themselves and still probably, being in a more serious relationship. Okay? With men, their focus is a lot different. I'm sure it happens all the time where men are with women that help to build them in their success, because some men really do thrive in that manner. But on the other hand, for the ones that don't, obviously they're not going to stay single like all their lives, so they're going to be kind of playing around and playing the field until they figure out more who they want to be. So for me, when I was 21 and my boyfriend at the time was 27, he was still trying to figure himself out. And we were in such different life arenas, even though we were only, 6 years apart. I was 21, he was 27. I mean, mentally, we are on, a different level. He simply wasn't happy at the time with his life. So he even apologized to me eventually and said, I'm sorry that I hurt you in the midst of trying to find myself. And I think that that is something that is so important, that when you are on the road to finding yourself, right? Here's the take home from all this stuff. When you're on the road to trying to find yourself, whether you are a female or a male, sometimes you end up dragging people down like in your path because you're trying to find yourself. You don't really know who you are yet. So of course we'd like to think that, the older the person is, that they're going to be more mature, which normally is the case. However, online, I would steer clear away from anyone online. I absolutely would advise against it. It makes no sense for someone in their, 40s and up especially, to be sitting on Tinder trying to get with girls. I mean, seriously, like, where's your entire life? What's happening? So I do expect it to definitely be, something that's for, the younger guys, 18 to, let's say, even 30, because 30 is really young. Let's even push it to 35. You understand what I'm saying? These guys are looking for fun. They're looking for, let's be friends. And you guys already know, they are the friends, we are the benefit. And I mean that in the sense where you ultimately form friends with benefits, relationships, unintentionally on your end with these men, because women don't normally go searching for friends with benefits relationships with guys, because we, being women, being a more emotional beings, we can't really detach intimacy from our emotions. But being that men can, for them, they're able to sustain those types of relationships and multiple versions of them as well. And that's where your feelings start to get hurt and involved. I mean, think about it. Half the time online too, people are writing these eloquent bios and these guys are wooing you with whatever garbage and nonsense that they're putting on there. And you're already getting attached to that person by the words that they're saying. Let's look at the actions. What are you doing? You say all these things, but what are you doing? Do you understand? That's what you have to pay attention to. I always tell you, ladies, action, action, action. Is this person communicating with you daily? Okay. Is this person consistent in their communication with you? Does this person all of a sudden one day will talk to you all day, and then next thing you know, he goes 2 days randomly without a word speaking to you at all? Take notice of these types of behaviors, okay? And please understand that this is just how the game goes, because if you're not doing it, it's being done to you, okay? And it's not a bad thing. You're not doing anything wrong. Like I said, you're single until you are actually claimed. It is what it is. If somebody has an issue with you talking to other people, then you need to cut off who you're cutting off, and the same will be done on my end. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, or, if you want to be taken seriously, then you need to take me seriously. Because it's all fun and games until you realize that you've been talking to this guy for the last 3-4 months and nothing's come out of it. And all you've done is hang out with him, have fun, you really like him, and you're still single. It feels like you're in a relationship, but you're not. You want to avoid that completely, okay? You want to avoid being online, trying to find love and relationships online. You're not going to find it on the internet. You're just not. You know, test my theory. That's completely fine if you want to. I have no issue with that. But for me and who I want in my life and the person that I desire, I would never want to find him on an online profile. And this also doesn't mean that the person that you're talking to, even if you met the person in person, and it doesn't mean that they also don't have social, dating profiles. But then there's this sort of awkward topic of, if you met that person online and you really, really like them, then the next conversation kind of becomes, hey, so I kind of deleted my profile. Like, I was kind of wondering, like, if you did too. And then you have to worry about, okay, did he really delete his profile? Or he has to worry about, did she really delete her profile? And it's just such a bad culture of, okay, well, if you're not going to do what I say, or if I don't like one thing that you said, or if I don't hear from you, or whatever the case is, I'm just going to go back online and I'm going to keep swiping, getting to the next girl, to the next girl, to the next girl, the next guy, the next guy, the next guy. That's what it ends up turning into. Because that's kind of the society that we are in, but also at the same time, the online dating culture must cease. Because that's actually what it turns into. You plan dates, people ghost you. You go on dates, people ghost you. You match with people on every single dating app. You'll find a guy where you matched with him on Tinder, Bumble, Luxy, Inner Circle, the whole nine. And you might never even speak to the guy. Ever. And you match them. And don't even get me started on Bumble. I think it's absolutely a disaster. It's a wreck what's happening, because they want women to take the initiative to message the guys. And you ladies already know I do not advise that at all, because you need to be able to gauge whether or not a guy actually wants to pursue you, because that's genetically really what they're supposed to do. Men are supposed to pursue women. That's what they should do. Do you understand? Of course, in society now, things are, a lot different, but for me, I'm more traditional in that sense. If you want me, let me know you want me, communicate with me, and I will reciprocate that same energy. If not, goodbye. It's like, it really is just how the game goes. Because in my eyes, I know my value. I know that there's someone for everyone. So whatever I want and I desire, there's somebody that's going to be out there for me. That's what it is at the end of the day. There's someone that's going to be out there for you. He won't be on the internet. He won't be online. Okay? And especially for you ladies on this channel as well, for you ladies that want a successful, guy in a relationship, more than likely, the more successful the guy genuinely, I would hope that he's not online. Does it happen? Of course, like I said, maybe, yes, it happens. But in the long term, or in, with the big picture, looking at the big picture, it doesn't normally happen. It's not a normal circumstance where it happens often enough for me to advise for you to do something like that. Does that make sense? I know that this probably wasn't what you guys were expecting, because I know even you guys have asked me what are some online dating tips and things like that. I mean, maybe, who knows, maybe I will research online dating tips for those of you that still want to pursue online dating. But in my personal opinion, because I do not advocate online dating, I don't personally enjoy online dating, I don't even feel like I would make a video about how to online date, when to me, looking at the big picture, I don't see a promising success rate that I would advocate for it per se. And I feel like interpersonal connection is very, very important. And it's really important that we don't get lost in the art of interacting with people in person, especially being a millennial. People don't want a phone call, they want to text all day. People get really awkward with meeting people in person, and we're really starting to lose our interpersonal skills. Me being a communications major, I mean, I certainly didn't lose it, but a lot of people I do notice, lose that ability to communicate. I mean, especially the younger that the generations are, they don't want to ever speak on the phone. I mean, literally, I noticed that with some of my younger friends, I can't even call them. I have to text them and say, hey, can I call you? And while they're literally texting me, I will call them and they still won't even answer the phone. It's not like I met these people yesterday either. It's like, why do you not want to talk on the phone? I digress. So that is the end of this video, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Do not forget that I love you and God loves you. And I'll see you beautiful angels in my next video. Mwah.